Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dreadful Tales. This is episode 4 of our 2 Dungeon Master, 10 player, 4 arc, concurrent finale Ravenloft Anthology. Episode 4 is entitled You'd Be Prettier If You Smiled. I don't know what that means, but I know that I don't like it. We're going to go around the table. Everybody's going to introduce themselves. Why don't we start with Fluffy?
Hi, I am Fluffy Snowfall. You can find me on Twitter at Fluffy Snowfall, and I am playing Karina Ivanova, a warlock from the lands of Barovia.
We are going to go with Dwight now, so he knows that I didn't forget about him this week.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. I'm Dwight. I'm the Big Bearded Nerd. You can find me on Twitter, Big Bearded Nerd, and Twitch here, Big Bearded Nerd 21, and also on Mondays on MTD, where we play Scribes and Scrolls on Monday nights. If you don't mind, just a real quick plug, we are raising money for Ukraine over on my channel this week. So we'll be streaming again on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend. You check out my Twitter, there's stuff on there. And it came up, I think, on our episode 1. If we get to $500 by the end of the day, Sunday, I will stream an entire stream with my emo makeup. So I don't know if Amy's out there or not, but that was her idea. So we threw that on there. So yeah, come hang out with us and raising some money, give some stuff away. And hopefully we'll see you there.
Amazing. Make sure you drop that link in the chat. And if you can't, just put it in the chat and I'll do it for you under Anthony's superpowered account. Feliza.
Hi, I'm Feliza. You can find me on Twitter at Feliza Casano, and at the end of April, you can find me on the fortnerd.com channel's Cyberpunk Independence Season 2. We're coming back at the end of April. Very excited. And in Dreadful Tales, I play Tea Kalor, a very, very lost Drought Ranger.
Well, now we've announced it. So there you go. Cyberpunk Independence Season 2 coming at the end of April. Robo.
Oh, hello, it's me, RoboGoblin, and you can find me on Twitter at TTRPGifts. I'm going to be playing Patricio de la Rosa. I almost forgot my last name. Monk, half elf, and you can find me on Eutharian Legends, which is coming back. Well, not actually coming back. We have the prologue on this Sunday at some hour.
Noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern. There you go. And I'm also running a Strixhaven campaign, but it's in Spanish. It's in my channel. You can find all the info at TTRPKs. That's me.
What about your All Druids?
Oh, yes, all druids.
Oh, yeah. On March 26th, we have the Oops All Druids game with an amazing cast of players, and it's going to be on my channel. It's going to be a 4 p.m. PT, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for that, and that's me.
My name is Gary. I play Dr. Cornelius in Dreadful Tales, and I'm lucky enough to play on Monday nights on MTD. It's Scribes and Scrolls, and with Feliza on Cyberpunk Independence, where we get into a whole lot of trouble on our podcast / show. You never know what's going to happen because I don't think our storyteller knows what's going to happen because we just continually throw her curveballs. Really excited to have you with us. We appreciate all the love we get from you on social media and every single Tuesday. I know that you're all excited. This is episode 4. There's only 2 weeks. There are only 2 weeks remaining in this arc. And the mists have a way of changing things. We'll see what happens in arc 2. Strike?
And I'm Stripe Redkite. I will be your DM and guide for your time here in Star Wallow, at least for the next couple of weeks. And then I will hand it off to a wonderful second DM who I've been working with. And then I will be back for the third arc and then for the finale. So you'll still see more of me creeping out players as we go through here. If you're looking for non-horror content, I have the illustrious honor to share the table with Robo on Sundays, every other Sunday on the D4 RPG channel for Utharian Legends, which is set in my homebrew world, which has infinitely more research done on it than is in any way, shape, or form necessary. For instance, did you know that there are 4 different classifications of milk depending on what end product that it is used for that the USDA classifies as ways to price milk? Because I do now. Anyway, let's go into a world in which I have not had to fall down many, many rabbit holes of unified weights and measures across multiple nations in a fantasy world, and into Star Wallow. When we last left our protagonists, they had managed to make it underneath the fountain and into the library itself, bypassing some traps in the first room. They picked up a few new books and then proceeded into the Grand Hall, which is a large room with a deep center opening that gave way to floors and floors and floors of library stacks. And it is here that we met our beloved eyeball buddies, as Taya was kind enough to wake a number of creatures and stir them all up so that they'd be able to come and visit. So I'm going to go ahead and ask my players for their initiative scores.
We rolled those last week, or are we rolling now?
I don't think we actually rolled them last week.
We did not.
Okay.
Then I rolled an 11.
Me too.
12.
Oh, wait, no.
10.
5.
This is going to be bad.
And Karina, what did you get?
12.
12. Okay. I thought I heard that, but I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, this is going to be bad because my baddies rolled a 19, a 20, and a 21 respectively. I feel like they should get 2 turns since they have literally double your initiative, but that's not how the rules work.
No.
So instead, we will simply describe this. So rising up from several of the lower stacks, the beaded light eyes swoop up, and you can hear wings flapping. As they get closer, though, and they reach your level to where your lights, concords mostly, and your dark vision are able to see a little better, you can see that these are not bats in the traditional sense. They certainly look bat-like, flying rodent wings, but they seem to have much longer fangs than a normal bat might. And there are several swarms worth of them that are swooping in and coming up on folks. Taya will go ahead and get an attack on you first. As one of the swarms will reach up on you. They got a 14.
Boom. My AC is 14.
Oh, that's just enough. Excellent. So that is 7 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw as you can feel that the bite has injected some poison.
Oh, wait, that was... Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's a dirty 20.
That is enough to save. So you'll only take half of the 13 poison damage, so 6 points of poison damage.
Ouch. Ouch.
So that is the first swarm, and it envelops Taya, and she's bitten on several different ways. Karina, you are the next one to get enveloped.
Okay.
18 for 24, I'm assuming is probably going to hit. For 7 piercing damage, and I need that Constitution saving throw.
That would be a 17.
That is a save. So you are only going to take 5 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And then the last swarm is going to swarm over Patricio. But an 8 is probably not going to be enough to hit him.
Ha ha.
It was so close to a 20, though. This close. All right. Karina, your 12 is the mightiest of the heroes initiative. What would you like to do?
All right. So the first thing that's going to happen is as the creatures swarm around her, she is going to mutter to herself, "By the name of the ancient from my holy lands, I invoke your power." And blood is going to start dripping out of her eyes as this like cloak of shadows begins to envelop over her. See if I can do this. Nope, the hood's not going to pay attention, not going to behave. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's not behaving. Oh well. Blood is going to start dripping down her eyes. This cloak of shadow is going to manifest around her. You see bats made out of mist fluttering in and out of the shadows. And there's periodically eyes looming out from inside as if you're being watched. There's like canine looking eyes, cat looking eyes, just various beasts like peering out from the shadows. And I am activating my form of dread.
Okay.
So for transparency, I get 1d10 plus 3 hit points, temp HP. I rolled and I got 13.
Excellent.
And once per turn, if I attack anything, they have to roll or be frightened of me.
All right. These creatures are immune to being frightened, so.
So am I.
Excellent. A wonderful match.
And I am going to, okay, that is a dirty 20. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Rightfully so.
And so like the blood dripping from her eyes kind of coalesces in her hands and stretches out in a blast of red energy, splashes against the bats. And they take 13 points of force damage.
All right. That'll work.
And then I'm going to move out of the bat swarm.
Okay. They're going to go ahead and take their reaction to take one swing at you since you are moving out of their range.
Just so for clarity, are they an actual swarm or?
Yes, they are an actual swarm.
Okay.
So they occupied your space, so you're moving out of it and thus leaving their threatened square.
Okay.
Dirty 20 to hit. Will that hit with the improved AC?
I don't have improved AC. I have improved,
just 10 hit points. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, let's eat some of those 10 hit points with 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Concord.
All right. So again, these things are surrounding all of us now, right?
There are 3 distinct swarms. One that Karina just stepped out of, one that Taya is in, and one that Patricio is in.
Okay. So I am going to I'm gonna call out to Patricio, and may your strikes be true as I cast Bless. So you will add a D4 to attack rolls or saving throws for the next minute. That's my action. And then as that spell kind of just, you see this kind of golden aura surround him. The lights that are kind of between the armor plating start to glow, kind of a silvery white color. as I turn in and point towards Felisa, and say, "May the light of Ra protect you." And I'm going to cast, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Sanctuary. I'm sorry, that's not right. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith. So you are covered with a shimmering field that's going to add a +2 bonus to your AC for the next 10 minutes. It's a concentration spell. So, and then I'll just stand there with my shield out.
Bless hits 3 people, actually.
At first level, it does?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will give it to Patricio, Felisa, and the doctor. Oh, they are, yeah. Okay. So then we will just stick with Bless. Sorry, I was reading Sanctuary, and then I'll stick with Sanctuary then for Felisa.
Okay.
Which is going to instead, let me go back to that. Anything that targets Felisa is going to have to make a Wisdom saving throw, and on fails, we'll have to choose a different target. So,
Well, that's unfortunate. My guys don't have very good wisdom. All right, Concord, did you want to move? Get
Nope.
Closer or further away? All right.
So yeah, I'm kind of already at the front of the group anyway, so I'll just stay there.
Makes sense. Taya.
Oh boy, Taya's just gonna like pang pow pow. So first she's just gonna shoot blindly, probably into the swarm of bats around her, with
That
her
makes sense.
longbow. It's going so slow for me tonight.
Now, I do want to warn you, if you make an attack, it will end your sanctuary.
Okay. I don't have a lot of other things I can do aside from run away and then they'll attack me, so I think...
I mean, it's entirely a legitimate option to take. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware before you did it.
Yeah,
that is a consequence of shooting at the swarm.
Fair. Well, the first shot is going to be a 12 to hit.
Nope, not quite.
All right, and second shot with the Dread Ambusher is going to be an 18.
That will totally hit.
All right, so let's try and see if there will be some damage. Oh yes. That'll be a 9 piercing damage.
Excellent. It does seem to take less damage from that, just because it is resistant to it, because it's a swarm, but it does still take a good solid 5 points of damage as your arrows are able to find some of the bats and drop them, but there are still a lot of bats.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Deeply.
Yeah. Well, that's about it for me.
All right, did you want to move?
No, they're probably just gonna follow me, right?
Yeah. All right, Patricio.
All right, so who's covered by the bats?
You and Taya have a swarm on you directly. Karina is near one, but has moved out of it.
Okay, is there a way that I could position myself so I can get the swarm that Taya is in, and maybe a lot of bats in a 20-foot cone?
If you move to the banister that's sort of blocking the big hole, the big opening, you could probably catch all 3 swarms in a 20-foot cone. You'd also catch Taya and possibly the doctor. Not that that's necessarily a deal breaker, just let you know.
How about a 30-foot line?
You
That I
will
can't-
you will not hit the doctor, but you will still hit Taya because they are in the same square.
Damn it, Taya. No, just kidding.
She opted not to move because
Um,
she felt it wouldn't matter. So, you know.
I mean, do what you gotta do. I'll pay the
Okay.
price, right?
The theme of
Okay.
this story is
So
consequences.
here's the thing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do some cool monk shit. Can I do my step of the wind, using one key point and just use my disengage or dash action as a bonus action on my turn and jump all the way on Taya's swarm?
You can't be in the same. You can be next to it. You can't be in the same square as it because Taya's in that square as well. There's only so much room.
Okay.
But you can hit it. You
So
can
I'm
certainly get to it and attack it. You just can't occupy that square because Taya's in it.
Damn it. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my one key point, do the step of the wind, and position myself around Taya's swarm so I can help out and try to not hit her because I could do something else, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to do that and attack the swarm.
Okay. So you are attacking the swarm around Taya, not the one that's around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to position myself so I'm in Taya's swarm, helping her out.
Yeah. So you will take an attack of opportunity because you're using dash and not disengage. So they are going to swing at you, but they haven't had a ton of luck. Oh, that 20 is so close. An 8 is going to miss again. So you are all good.
Haha, monk shit. And I'm just gonna go over there, Taya, and I just do the backflip and all sorts of Power Ranger moves, and I just drop in front of Taya, and I can help out with this, and I just start attacking. Yeah, I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm just gonna. Taya is actually really close to me, so she starts to see that my arm starts getting bigger, and starts she can see that now I have scales of a dread dragon around my arm, and I'm going to use my draconic strike on the swarm of bats,
Okay.
and that's okay, that's a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hell yeah.
Are you using the ability to change the type of damage?
Yeah, it's actually red dragon. Red dragons are fire, right?
Red dragons are fire, but your ability allows you to pick which element type you'd like to use.
Yeah, I'm just trying to match the
Thematically, yeah,
dragon type.
it'd be fire.
Yes. Okay. Then yeah, it's fire. That's 5 fire damage.
Okay. They are not resistant to fire damage, so several bats burn to a crisp and flop down.
Awesome. And yeah, that's the only thing I can do.
All right. Dr. Cornelius with his mighty 2.
Yeah, I am very unappreciative that this was summoned toward us, and I will advance, unsheathing my great axe, making sure that the bindings on my book blades are tight, and I am going to roll a mighty attack on the bats that are surrounding Taya.
Okay.
Even though she does not deserve my help. You know what you did, Taya. 21, 25?
That'll hit. 20, 21, and 25 will both hit.
13.
What kind of damage?
Slashing.
Okay, so they are resistant to that, so they are going to take 7. All right. Anything else?
No, that is the end of my turn. I am very disappointed by this turn of events.
All right. Taya, your swarm is still right there with you, so they are going to bite at you. I'm going to roll a 15.
Yee!
Is that enough?
That hits my 14 AC, yes.
All right. 3 piercing damage, and I need another Constitution saving throw.
That's another dirty 20.
All right, so you're only taking half. So that is 8 points of poison damage. All right. The next swarm is going to go over Patricio instead of Karina, because she moved further back and Patricio moved up. So we're just going to swap and do that around. I'm hoping that they'll be more successful on hitting him. I'm thinking a 14 may not do it, though.
No, haha. Monk shit.
Monk shit. All right, and that leaves the third one is going to go to Dr. Cornelius and see if they can make some holes in his nice suit. Oh, they do have advantage. That's right. Wow, even worse the second time. So an 11 to hit isn't going to do it.
When I am not paying attention, they cannot strike me. I can
All
turn
right.
away and they have not the power to hit me.
They are definitely right up in your grill, though. Karina.
All right. Going to reach my hands forward towards one of the swarms of bats, the ones that's surrounding Taya.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to wipe the blood dripping from her eyes and kind of flick her wrists, and the little droplets are going to surround the bats. I'm casting Hex.
Okay.
And I'm giving them disadvantage on, we'll say, wisdom checks.
Seems reasonable.
I will move a little bit further back away from the swarms, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast
Okay.
the swarm that I marked.
Okay.
All right. That's a 16.
That'll do.
Okay. That is 10 force damage
Oh, that's
and 3 necrotic.
Oh, they're not resistant to that either. All right. If they had a Legend of Zelda heart meter, it would be beeping. Concord.
So I'm going to move into the swarm around Taya. And I pull out this little mask shaped talisman that's in my pouch, and I just hold it up against Taya's shoulder. And again, my lights kind of glow a gold color, and I cast Balm of Peace, and you will get 2d6 plus 3 healing, which is going to be 13 points of healing. As I use my channel divinity, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Excellent. All right. Taya, there is a swarm of very angry but largely dead vampire poison bats that are swarming around you.
I mean, can I do anything but shoot them? I cannot do anything but shoot them, I don't think. So, Here we go. Ooh, another 12.
That's not enough.
All
So you
right.
have bless. You're blessed?
You
right?
do have bless. You do get an extra D4.
Let's see if the extra D4 helps.
You are right on the cusp, so it very well might.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I missed that. How much do you add?
+2.
That
So
is
14
just
total.
enough.
Okay. That is excellent.
They also have an armor class of 14.
We are of the same strength. See? Buddies. It's going to be 7 piercing damage.
All right, and that will be enough to drop that swarm as the last of the bats that are currently surrounding Taya fall to the ground, burned, charred, forced, arrowed, all of those things. Would you like to move?
Where's the... Are there more bats nearby?
There are 2 more swarms. One is surrounding Patricio and one is surrounding Dr. Cornelius. So you can now, because they don't have any reach, you can move freely without running into attacks of opportunity.
Okay, that was the question, is because Patricio's right next to me. All right, well, I'm just gonna boop 30 feet back. As
All
far
right.
back as possible.
Patricio, there is a swarm of bats in your square.
Okay. I'm gonna attack those little cute bats. You're gonna see that Patricio's other half of the body, which is the left side of the body, starts getting this whole white scale. I'm still me, but you just see white scale all over my uncovered parts. And it's a white scales, and I'm gonna attack the ones in front of me with a round kick with my left leg, and then a punch. Actually, no. Let's see if this one hits. It's a round kick to the bats. Oh my god! Seriously, that's a natural 1.
That is not going to hit.
Uh-huh.
I am not, however, going to make you do any kind of ridiculous checks to stay on your feet. You just miss.
Great. All right, I'm gonna spend a key point and attack again.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. So
Oh
you will
my god, that's a
do
natural 20.
max damage and then a roll of damage. And you'll also get 1 additional
All right, so
attack because Flurry of Blows is 2 additional attacks.
Oh, it's 2, right? Oh yeah. Okay, that's gonna take a while. Okay, that's what's a 1 plus 5 plus 3? That's 21, 22.
22, and this is fire damage
what is
still?
It's cold damage.
Cold damage this time. Okay.
Yeah.
That is enough to down the swarm.
Monk shit.
They're all rushed into a single spot trying to dodge out of your first strike, and you hit them in a bunch with a big loud thunk, and they drop to the ground with ice around.
Yeah, so when I miss one, you just see like this frost flaky whatever it is around my arm, so that hits them and hits the wings, and they just drop down.
All right.
And
you've got 1 more attack on the remaining swarm if you want it.
Yeah, can I move to
Yeah, you've
Cornelius side
definitely got
and
movement.
just attack?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll do that. And I'll get to Doctor. Hello, Doctor. I'm here to help. And I'm going to attack the other swarm.
Okay.
That's a 12, but I am blessed.
Yep.
And oh, okay, that's a +4, 16.
Yeah, that'll do. Hashtag
Hell yeah.
blessed.
Hell yeah. Hashtag blessed. Thank you, Concord. And that's a draconic strike. Okay, that's a 6.
Okay.
6 cold damage.
Nicely done. Dr. Cornelius.
Yes, thank you for your help, Patrizio. At least someone is doing what they're supposed to do. And he's going to glare over at Taya, who's fled the battle scene. All right, well, luckily I'm a beast. That's 18.
That'll do.
Motherfucker. 4 damage.
Slashing.
Yep.
All right. So that is cut in half by their resistance. But you do definitely manage to hit one of the bats with your axe.
Yay. I have never felt so inept in my life. Why are we fighting these things? He's going to look up in the air and he's going to say, all right. And then he's going to glare at Taya again.
All right. The swarm of poisonous bats is going to try and bite at Dr. Cornelius with a 16.
Yeah, that will hit.
For 8 piercing, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, Constitution savings. Oh, yeah, and I am blessed. Yeah, I rolled a lot. It's a 14. 19. I think I am
that's
fine.
plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC's only 10, so.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to take 7 points of poison.
And how much piercing?
8 piercing.
I am done.
All right, Karina.
All right. I'm going to reach out and blood is going to pool out from the bats that were slain around Taya, and it's going to splatter around the swarm that's engulfing Cornelius. So I'm moving Hex, going to reach out and launch another blast of blood at the bats. That is 14 to hit.
That'll do.
Okay, that's 6 necrotic and 8 force damage.
Ouch. 6 necrotic, 8 force. All right. Any movement or anything else you've got?
I'm going to stand my ground.
All right. Concord, you're up.
So I'm going to move over to the swarm that is surrounding Dr. Cornelius. I'm going to reach over and I'm going to lay my hands on his shoulder. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds. And you're going to take 11 points of healing. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to kind of turn my head a little bit and I'm wink, but my eyes don't actually blink or anything because they're just, open orbs. And then I'm going to reach over, I'm going to pinch you on the arm. And that's my turn.
Yeah, das ist. I am grateful for your help, but your winking makes me very uncomfortable in my soul.
Taya, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot that last swarm from all the way back here.
That seems like a much better place to shoot it from.
Yes, it is, actually. Oh no, but that's a crit fail, so I do not hit. That is a 6 total.
All right, would you roll percentile dice for me?
Sorry, it's rolling so slow. I don't know why. It's going so slow. 21.
Okay. You hear the arrow as it sails past the swarm, sail off into the darkness, and you can hear the arrow hit something hard with a thunk and definitely stick into it, but it doesn't sound like it was a wall. It echoed too much to be that sturdy.
Hmm. That's interesting.
All right. Any movement or anything else?
Is anything close to me?
Karina.
No, I'm fine.
All right. Patricio.
All right, attack. Oh, that's a natural 20.
All right.
I'm
Roll that
gonna
beautiful dice footage.
Okay, so that's plus. Oh, okay. 21 fire damage.
That definitely takes care of them.
Oh hell yeah! You just almost see the mouth of a what is it? Red dragon form with my hand and just squish or destroy the rest of the bats.
As the last of the bats fall to the ground, you can hear a soft rumbling, like something large and heavy moving, but far enough away that it's not easy to spot. It sounds like it's coming from below you, but how far below is tough to tell.
What is this fresh
Are we out
hell?
of combat?
Yes, you are out of combat. Unless you'd like to inter-party conflict, in which case we can stay in combat.
Not today.
I don't like
we can
this.
feel all. Or is anybody feeling that?
While this is going on, I'm going to go try and Ozzy Osbourne one of the dead bats.
Live your best life.
Yeah. And just ferally like suck the blood out of it.
Teo wants to pick up one of the non-exsanguinated bats and examine
There are
it.
many. Sure. It looks like the bat is bigger than a normal bat you would expect to see. And it definitely has long, almost snake-like fangs.
How many do you think I could fit in my backpack? She says this out loud to whoever is nearest her.
They're not that much bigger than regular bats, so you could probably fit a good half dozen. Or if you swished them.
She looks around at her friends and she says, "Do you want me to get you one?"
Sure, I'll take one.
Great.
Thank you. And I just grab it. Hey Corina, can I make one of these like your bat? Or is that something magical that I do? Oh, okay. Okay. Is everybody all right?
That's relative. I'm less poisoned than I was before. Hey, I heard my arrow hit something real weird.
Yeah, I heard that
Can
as
I
well.
see you were?
It was very strange.
Oh, that was the voice that was coming from downstairs, right? I'm asking the DM.
So when you go and look over the edge of the banister, the two glowing orbs that seemed like eyes of whatever it was that was talking to you have disappeared.
Apparently, the creature is gone. So, um, is everybody okay?
As the shadows and all of that begin to fade away, you see her just kind of staring at this bat corpse she has in her hand, and like confusedly wipes the blood off her mouth. I think so.
I am fine. Does anyone else have injuries that need attending?
Do we have some time for a little bit of a break?
That would be nice.
All I know is this is, without a doubt, the very worst moment of my life. I hope that you do not feel offense that I am surrounded by you. And he's going to glance at everybody. In this moment. In this, what I have begun calling my own personal hell.
If this is your worst moment, then it is only up from there.
From what I have observed of you, Doctor, if you just wait, I'm sure you'll think a subsequent moment will be just as bad.
I just turned to everybody. Okay. Way to go, team. We're a pretty nice team, actually. I commend you all.
Yeah, that thing with the hand was very nice. I like that with the.
Oh, thank you. I've been working on that for a lot of time, but thank you for that.
Yeah, does it have a name?
It doesn't have a name, actually. It's just special moves that my senseis taught me.
Yeah, you need to give it a good name for branding purposes. So that when you do it, you could go, haha, and then say that is the name of your move. So that everyone knows it is coming.
That's very wise. I'll think about that.
So are we going to, is the idea that y'all want to have a short rest in this place of hell?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Does this seem like a place that would be possible? Aren't we on like a balcony of some sort?
You're on a balcony surrounded by bookshelves in a library. I mean, what could be safer?
A lot of things, actually.
I will, and there's is there stairs going down?
Not that you have seen,
Not
but
that
you
we've
haven't
seen.
really explored this floor
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Short rest seems good, but Taya also wants to investigate where her arrow landed.
Yeah, I think.
you
Go ahead.
So you know, with the amount of force that you put into your arrow, it would have probably sailed clear across the gap to the other side of this floor. So it's
Okay.
probably at least on this floor, if not close.
But probably across the.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I will just kind of walk a perimeter around where we are, not going too far from everybody else, but just kind of see what's around us.
So the opening in the center of the floor seems to be about 20 foot by 20 foot. with a banister all the way around. There are a number of bookshelves, and there are gold plaques on the ends of them, but most of them seem to be worn down and very difficult to read. So if they once gave a hint as to what type of book was on that shelf, it's dicey how much that would be of help at this point. The rest of the floor, do you want to go beyond the corners of the banister and start checking out the other sides, or do you want to stay closer to the group?
Well, yeah, I'm staying close to the group. Just if we're talking about taking a rest, I just want to give kind of like walk a perimeter and make sure there's nothing immediately in our vicinity. And if not, then I'm gonna go back to the group.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
I'll go with Concord and help.
Okay, give me one as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Oh, it's definitely safe.
Mm-hmm. Everything seems fine to me, Taya.
I rolled a 15. How does it seem to me? Yeah.
As a hunter, you have learned to interpret silence in very different ways depending on what kind of silence it is. There's the silence of an empty area. There's that loaded silence of a creature about to burst from the bush. This feels closer to the latter than the former, but you haven't found any actual creatures or even really spots for them to hide in normal circumstances. At least in the immediate vicinity, there doesn't appear to be anything here.
Outside of the game, that's a hyper specific way of describing we don't happen to see anything. I don't trust you at all.
I don't know, Concord. I think the vibes are off. Kind of.
Vibes.
Yeah, you know, vibes, like the feels you get.
I reach up and I touch some of the bookshelves. It feels like bookshelves.
No, not with your hands, just, you know, the feels that you get from the vibrations, the vibes, you know?
Concord, you're touching bookshelves?
Yes.
Would you give me a percentile dice, please?
It is 47.
All right. You don't knock any of the books over, but you do happen to touch a shelf that has fewer than the maximum number of books on it, and sort of knock a couple of them off to one side. Behind the books that your hand happens to touch, it looks like there's a scrap of paper tucked in.
I'll just kind of stop and pause and I'll look back at Taya. It looks like the vibes have found some paper, and I'll reach over and pull it off the shelf.
See, you gotta trust the vibes, Concord.
So what is this piece of paper?
The piece of paper looks like it was probably torn from the front of a book. There's a little bit of printing on one side that looks like it might have even been like a copyright notice sort of thing, but is basically nonsensical. On the blank side of the reverse side of that paper, however, there's a note scrawled in dwarven text. It says, "The truth will set them free, but a fee may be easier."
I do not understand the words on this page, and I'll hand it to Taya. Well, I understand the words, but the meaning escapes.
And she kind of looks at it and she says, "Well, I don't understand Dwarvish, so."
And I'll read. I do, so I read it.
fee. What kind of fee? You think I can use the bats for that? Do they accept bats as currency, you think?
Not aware of the exchange rate for deceased bats.
Hmm. Well, we can always check and see if anyone else has any thoughts. She's gonna take a look around and see if she can see her arrow on like the other part of the.
Okay, you want to go search on that side of the floor?
Mhm.
Okay, give me an investigation check with advantage.
Well, the first one was a 5. I hope this one's a little better. Oh yeah, that's much better. It's a 19.
All right. So, Taya, as you walk to the other side of the floor, you pass more of these bookshelves, even more plaques that have worn down and are difficult, if not impossible, to read. But on the other side, you realize that there's another, almost like a cubby, around the area where you and your companions had stood and fought the bats on the other side of the floor. As your eyes adjust to the darkness and see into this cubby, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. That's a natural 1.
Okay.
For a total of 3. But I think the natural 1 is more important. Yes.
It certainly does carry a certain weight to it. What you see in this cubby are 5 statues. One of them has your arrow sticking out of its thigh. As you get closer to the statues start to look a little familiar. And you realize that each of these statues seems to be made in the image of yourself and your companions. As you realize that the arrow is sticking out of Karina's thigh, or at least her statue's thigh, your mind finally recognizes the faces of the statues, and all of them have a wide, almost rictus grin and hands outstretched. Each of them is wearing the clothes that you and your companions have been wearing. Even your equipment is represented in what looks like marble statues. They are exquisitely detailed, and the eyes are all following you everywhere you move in that alcove.
Don't like that. Taya is going to just kind of stare back at them for a little bit. She's not really sure what to make of this. But then she walks up to the statues and grabs on the arrow and tries to pull it out of the statue.
Give me a strength check.
I would have followed if she is walking into this alcove.
Okay.
And so then if I see that she's trying to pull this arrow out, I will assist.
Okay, make the strength check with advantage, Taya.
Sure. First was an 8. did take that long to roll on Beyond. Thank you, Beyond. And the second one's a 9.
The arrow shaft snaps, leaving the arrowhead embedded in the marble, and the rest of it jerks free. Karina, you feel a phantom pain in your leg. It doesn't cause any damage, and it doesn't cause any movement or anything of that sort. It's the sort of pain that just kind of, there's that throbbing, and you're not really sure where it came from, and it's gone almost as quickly.
So what you're saying is being in your 30s.
Yeah, essentially.
That's too real.
Not really paying much attention to it. I do have one thing I want to do, DM.
Sure.
So, from my background, I have the feature historical knowledge as an archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
When you enter a ruin or dungeon, you can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders.
Okay.
So I am curious if there's anything in here that, like, I'm sure I'm going to get, it's a library, but I'd like to know more, like, if there's anything telling that I can see with that feature.
So this was definitely a library, but it served as more than just a storehouse of knowledge. It was also, in many ways, a vault of knowledge, a place to put knowledge that maybe shouldn't necessarily be widely known, and secure it in such a way that it wouldn't necessarily get out. As far as the builders go, you feel like this is definitely the work of a powerful force that has considerably more control over this area. You would put it on par with your patron.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Patricio and Dr. Cornelius. Half of your party has gone to the other side to mess with the scary statues. What would you two like to do?
I would like to stretch. I'm using this time to just stretch out my whole body, my legs, and everything. And I'm gonna ask Corina, is that something that happens all the time to you when you are covered in this, shroud of darkness?
Oh, it is not something that happens often, but it can happen when I invoke the power of the valley like that. I tap into the animals and the nature back from my homeland.
And are you in any danger
I don't
personally when
think
you use
so.
that?
I don't think so. It is a gift from the land. Does not seem to be causing me any harm. What about
Okay.
your condition? Forgive me for asking, but are you of draconic
My
lineage?
con- Oh, that. Oh, okay. I thought you meant something else. Uh, no. Um, I studied under a group of people that study dragons, and I they took me in, and I started to learning all their art.
Interesting. Does it hurt?
Sometimes, but it's bearable. It helps me, keep my feet on the ground.
Sometimes that's all you can ask for. That is good to know. But
It's
thank
also
you.
really
Go ahead.
no.
I was just
Oh,
saying thank you for your
just
concern.
No, always. It's also really soothing sometimes. And you see like this look of worry that you might actually infer or just know something about me that I don't want anybody else to know.
Gotcha.
Doctor, are you okay?
Dr. Cornelius is silently observing the situation. He's observing the sweet little moment between Karina and Patrizio, this heartfelt emotion. He sees Concord and Taya disappear into the darkness without so much as a description of where they're going. He's going to lay his axe on the ground, and he is going to lay down as if he was going to make a snow angel. He is going to close his eyes and wait for the death that he expects to come in the very near future.
I go put a blanket on
You're
the
being
drama
overly
queen.
dramatic.
You'll be more comfortable with a blanket
Doctor-
here.
He's going to look at Patrizio and he's going to look at Karina and he's going to say, "Thank you, but the blanket won't help me when the time comes. All of you are getting me into trouble. I cannot even believe it. How we found ourselves here, why it is us. There must be some common thread, but I cannot figure it out. If only there was some clue that had been shared, but there is no clue. I have no knowledge. So,
Well, if you look at the way that this place is built, the way that the shelves are aligned, the fact that they're as open as they are really indicates that this is not just a repository, but this is meant as a vault to seal in knowledge rather than keep it for easy access. If this was an archive of some sort, they would have manner of keeping the bookcases in narrow quarters to store more. I think this is the case of they're wanting to keep things in. And if you look at the construction here, which will kind of point out some of the features, none of this is indicative of a particular unified culture. It seems that whatever created this library is of a supernatural force, perhaps one of a great scale.
yeah, this is very informative. I only wish we had more answers than we have questions. Also, those are some answers I was not expecting. So, yeah, I just assumed that the spaces were wide open because the architecture could not support the weight of the books, so they put the books against the wall so that they do not crush the floors below. But I suppose a vault, should it be such that it is a chamber, a column, or something of knowledge, then fine, I accept. He's going to close his eyes.
On the other side, Taya and Concord, the statues are watching you. Their eyes are very clearly pointed at each of you.
Taya kind of looks over. She doesn't really look. She just kind of leans over and sort of whispers to Concord, "You think they're haunted? In your
Hey.
professional opinion, do you think they're haunted?"
My profession does not typically deal with hauntings. they do appear to be looking at us. Is that evidence of haunting?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's because the person they're looking at is attractive to them in some way, either just visually appealing or because it looks like food.
And I just kind of look down and kind of look at my hands. I don't think I look like food. And I'll just kind of look back up at the statue.
Both of you give me a perception check.
The 7.
A 12.
Nothing seems amiss. Please proceed.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna just kind of move from side to side and just checking to see if it's continuing to track me.
So the eyes aren't tracking you in the sense that they're moving and watching you. It's more the way that they're sculpted, like in some paintings where the eyes just seem to follow you no matter where you move.
Okay.
It's the Jesus painting.
I'll kind of like, I'm moving side to side. I'm kind of raising my head up and down and getting at different levels. I think it is more design than function. I don't think those are actual eyes or looking at us.
I'm more worried. I'm more worried that they look like us, honestly.
That is certainly odd. I have no recollection of visiting this place. Certainly not in a capacity that I would have been recognized by a sculptor.
I mean, I'm not sure if I want to turn away and leave and never come back here again, or if I don't want to leave them where other people could harm them and maybe us. I'm not sure which of those options seems.
I'm gonna reach up and pinch the arm of my statue.
It feels like marble.
I'm gonna kind of tap at it, and I don't feel anything when I'm like pinching at this thing, right? Okay. They do not appear to be connected to us in any way.
Why don't I try something else? And she takes one of the bats out of her backpack and she puts it on the face of the Dr. Cornelius statue.
On the face or in the hands?
On the face. And waits to hear if she waits to see if she hears anything from across the way.
So the body sort of smears a little blood on the face, which looks even more creepy with the rictus grin now with red, bloody lips, kind of dripping a little bit, almost like he himself had the same snack Karina did earlier. But you don't hear anything coming from back towards where your makeshift camp was.
Okay, well, I don't think they can feel it because the doctor we would have heard the doctor if he felt that.
I'm going to pull out, I have an alms box that I carry with me, and it's where I keep donations that I have gotten for Rao over the years. And I'm going to kind of pull through. I'm going to find like a silver coin out there. I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to set it. You said the hands are out?
Yes, all of the hands are outstretched.
Okay.
And
I'm going to put a coin from my alms box into the hands of the Concord statue.
Okay. Any particular coin or just
silver coin?
Just a silver coin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a percentile roll.
It is a 10.
Okay. The hands of the statue lower just a slight bit, like they're weighing the coin almost, but nothing else seems to happen.
Thing. Then I'm going to reach into my satchel and pull out my coin purse, which I think has, let's see, there's 10 gold in there. I'm going to take a gold piece out and just put that in the palm as well.
The hands lower considerably further. And the smile on the Concord statue seems to lessen and become a little more muted. It doesn't move. It may just be a trick of the light as far as what you can see, but it feels like it is more peaceful than it was a moment before.
Thing. I'm going to just go and drop the whole coin purse in there. So total be 10 gold and a silver piece there now.
When you do, the hands fold up and then come to the chest of the statue. And the head bows.
I will bow back. But like Mr. Miyagi bow, with my head up so that I'm watching the whole time.
It seems like there's a mechanism in the statue that has moved the head forward.
Okay, I think this is what the paper meant. We can pay a fee or tell it a truth.
Or tell it a truth. And she thinks about this for a moment. And she goes up to hers and she says, and she holds up her hand and she goes, Durden, Rilray, Innis, Besson, Ebris, and Sable are the most important people to me.
When you get close to the statue, you notice that it also has a star on the chest where your new star is. But once you have spoken the words, the hands of the statue move up and clasp over the ears, and the head bows forward.
You know, Concord, I think you're right. We better go get everybody else, huh?
Affirmative. That seems an appropriate course of action. And I'm just going to all turn and start walking back.
Taya just trots along after him, trying to keep up because she's nowhere near as tall as he is.
Both of you give me a quick perception check.
15.
Concord, you hear something shuffle behind you as you two start walking towards the rest of your group.
I'll just turn and look behind me.
The three statues that do not have bowed heads are closer to you.
Uh-huh.
I do not approve. Taya, go get the others. I will remain here.
And Taya looks back and sees that they're closer and is like, yep, okay, you can stay here with them. And skedaddles off.
And I just turn to face the statues.
Give me a perception check at disadvantage, Concord.
I'm going to do it at disadvantage. $18.
Okay. About 2 or 3 minutes after Taya leaves to go and get the rest of the group, and I'll narrate what happens when she arrives to the rest of the group here in just a moment. Her statue fades out. Like it was being erased or maybe even lost into the ethereal plane.
Curious.
And when it does, your statue lifts its head back up.
That seems unfortunate.
On the other side, Taya, you return to the rest of the group to see Dr. Cornelius under a blanket lying on the floor. Patricio is doing some stretching, and Karina is being Karina. I need Karina and Patricio to give me a perception check.
So anyway, that's why you should stretch every 5 minutes or so you don't get tense muscles.
I stay limber.
All right. Good to know. That is a 16 perception.
Okay.
Come on, man. That's an 11.
So Karina, you notice something hair's breadth before Patricio does, but both of you will see this. Karina, you notice that there seems to be something behind Taya as she's coming up to the group. And Patricio, once Taya moves a little bit to the side as she's rejoining the group, you can see a marble statue that looks exactly like Taya standing just outside of the light of your group, with a big rictus smile on its face, but what looks like a tear in one eye.
Taya, who's your friend?
And
Just smile.
she stops and she says, "Does it look like me or like one of you?"
You.
Oh shit. I think Concord might be in some trouble. You want to come with me?
Should we be
Yep.
worried about that?
Yes. But there's one of all of us, so... And he's with the rest of them.
Okay.
Let's go. Doctor, come on. Stop being so dramatic. Come on, let's go.
Dramatic? Me? How dare you? Fine.
Come on. Let's go.
Fine. Dr. Cornelius will stand from the prone position. He will gently fold the blanket. He will gingerly hand it to Karina, and he will begin walking toward this hellscape that his party has laid at his feet.
So are you walking? So this is a square central opening, and the statues, Taya, are on the other side. Your statue is on the right-hand side staring at your group. Are you going to walk towards your statue or around the other way?
How big is the statue?
Life size.
Life size. Okay. I'm just gonna...
It's 5'7".
It is absolutely like, this is artisan level quality marble working. It is, if it were painted with appropriate flesh colors, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference at a glance between the real Taya and the statue.
Okay, I'll just walk. Can I? Is it blocking the place where I'm trying to go?
No.
Or
It's
okay,
there's plenty of room on either side of it to go around.
okay. I'll just walk around it, just like, oh, excuse me, and go with Concord.
Okay. Taya, Karina, and Dr. Cornelius, are you following behind Patricio past the statue, or are you going the other way around?
I'm gonna go the other way around.
Taya's also gonna keep going. She's gonna keep walking around because she does not want to turn around and look at it. That concerns her.
That's fair.
I am going to watch her statue for a little bit.
Okay. So as Taya and Dr. Cornelius essentially hang a left, Patricio hangs a right. Karina, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
One of those was in that 20. Still not bad. 15.
Okay. A few moments after Taya leaves the immediate area, you sort of blink, and in that blink, the statue disappears.
Okay.
On the other side, as Patricio, Dr. Cornelius, and Taya rejoin the group at the other alcove, Concord, give me a perception check.
Uh, 11.
Okay. So as Taya rejoins your area from your left side, you notice behind her as she walks into the area, her statue now standing and looking at this alcove from that pathway.
And return to where it was. It's just coming in.
Yeah.
By her then. Okay.
It seems to, when you noticed it, it was about 5 feet behind Taya.
Okay.
And then it stayed put as she moved forward.
Okay. Oh, there you are. And I just kind of like point at it. Taya, are you aware that it followed you?
Yes, Karina, let me know.
Very well. It seems to have stopped.
And she kind of looks towards Dr. Cornelius and sort of gestures at his statue and says, well, Dr. Cornelius is here and he could deal with his. Tell him what he has to do.
You have to pay a fee or tell a truth to your statue.
My God, it looks like exactly like me. Okay, Dr. Cornelius will walk up to his statue and he's going to look at it. He's going to sort of look it up and down. And he's going to say, my word, you are a cutting fellow. Haha, it is funny because I have an axe. And he's going to close his eyes for a second. He's going to mutter, it's a truce. And he says, it seems to me that we are trapped here. And versions of ourselves, iterations of who we were, are like reflections in a broken mirror. And over the last hours, I have wondered if this is the first iteration I could be. And that is something that I fear. That I am not my best self. That I am the opposite of that.
When Dr. Cornelius finishes speaking, his statue's hands separate and move up to the ears, and the head bows forward.
You said that mine has picked its head back up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will look at my statue. Well, it appears I no longer have funds to pay a toll or a fee. So I guess a truth will have to do. I have killed so many more than I have healed or ever will heal. I don't think I will ever pay the penance for the lives I have taken.
The hands move from the chest, drop the coins at the statue's feet, move to its ears, and then bow forward.
Then again, I will bow again to the statue.
As I arrive, because I think Patricio at one point lost wherever he was going and just arrive really late at that. Oh, how's it going? What's going on here? I say to everybody that's already here, the statues.
There are statues of us, and you must pay the fee or tell a truth.
Yeah, you must pretend that this is your therapist and you must unburden yourself of something that is bothering you. Or just pay the gold. Either way, it is like a therapist.
Therapist. I do not know that word. Okay. First of all, hello, me. Actually, yeah, you look pretty good. You even have the scar. Huh. I wonder if, can I just touch it and see if I feel anything?
Feels like marble.
You are made of stone. Nice. And I just say, I like you. And that's a truth. Does it do anything?
The arms of the statue shudder in place, and the skin is replaced with dragon scale.
Nope, I don't think that works. Actually, that's pretty cool. Okay, a truth. And I just whisper, I am deeply afraid to hurt anybody else.
From the statue's hands, uncup, go over its ears, and the head bows forward.
I bow too. That was easy, I guess. Corina.
I will have arrived at the group at that point.
Karina, you can see the arrowhead still embedded in the leg, just where you had your pain earlier.
Why is there an arrow in my leg?
I think it's the one that I shot earlier. I missed the bats that came over here. I was looking for it when we found the these delightful statues.
I don't smile like that, do I?
No. Oh no, you have a cute smile. Very cute.
Okay, I was worried for a minute there. And I see you found yours again. That's good. It disappeared, so I was a little worried. So what's going on now?
You have to pay the toll with gold or with a truth.
What has everyone else done so far?
Uh,
I have told the truth and paid gold.
The gold is on the floor.
Yes, it dropped the gold after I told the truth. But that was after Taya left and reset the statue. It's been a whole thing.
I see.
I told the truth.
All right.
I told the truth, but I think I'll have to tell another one.
I'm thinking maybe be consistent. Since if you did truth originally and you did payment and then it's invalidated or whatever, I guess we should all tell truths.
That actually makes sense.
I will go up to the statue and look at it. I am worried that I am never good enough without knowing who I really am. I worry that I might be on the wrong side of things. And I genuinely worry I do not know who I am.
The statue's hands unjoin, but instead of moving to the ears, they first move to the thigh where the arrowhead is. And for a brief moment, the statue's face goes from giant rictus smile into a grimace of deep pain. And then after a moment, the hands then move to the ears, the smile is restored, and the head bows forward.
I will go and pack some like moss and herbal remedies around the arrowhead as if I was trying to treat a wound.
Okay.
How far am I from my statue now?
You're probably about 10 feet away. It's standing back essentially roughly where you would have been when you were first visible to Concord as you were walking into this area. That's where the statue is standing.
I want to stand next to Concord and not get any closer to it than that.
Okay.
And I'm going to say across that distance, Sable's the youngest, and she's the most like me, and that's why I'm worried about her more than the others.
The statue's hands move to its ears, and the head bows forward. And you can hear what sounds like a large mechanism starting to move. But then the gears jam.
Where did
Are all-
this sound come from? Like where we're
Directly
hearing this?
behind the other four statues.
Can we see the mechanism behind them? Or is it like trapped behind a wall? Or
It
something?
seems like it's inside the wall.
I'll take a step around the statues, just to the side of them, and
Mhm.
just give a look at the wall and see if I can see anything.
Give me an investigation check.
13.
So with a 13, you don't notice anything on the wall specifically, but you do see that there is a recessed area where Taya's statue had originally been standing. And it looks like the other four statues have a similar recessed area, but they are in that spot.
Yeah, okay, Tea's statue. Let us go back to your home. And Dr. Cornelius is gonna go and try and grab the statue.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Yeah, okay.
Before you go and do that, I touch you on the shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
May his strength infuse you.
Oh, why does it always make me feel so cold?
That's why I gave you the blanket before.
Yeah, unfortunately it's only 11.
With the D4?
Oh, yeah.
So as Dr. Cornelius tries to pick up the statue, and it's a 5'7" elf. It's not a big statue. Like, there seems to be more density to it than you would assume marble would have. And as your hands touch the statue itself, the statue begins to radiate heat toward you.
Yeah, it's like this thing has a soul and it's just weighing it down. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. Come on, statue. We are going now. Back to your home.
Doctor,
Yeah?
maybe it's something Taya has to do.
Maybe. I got a 16. Let us see.
So you're able to move the statue somewhat, but as soon as it moves from the position it was in, the smile on the face turns to a wordless scream of pain.
Oh, you stupid statue. You are getting me into trouble like the real Taya.
But it is moving, so you can move it to that spot if you wish.
No, I don't want to hurt the statue. Why would I want to hurt the statue? Such a weird thing. Taya, go tell it to go into its home.
Whatever you say, Doctor. So Taya cautiously approaches the statue. And she... Does the statue still has its hands like over its ears?
Yes.
She puts her hands over its hands and just like waits for a second to see if it reacts at all.
The face moves from one of pain back to the rictus smile.
I'm not sure which of those is worse, honestly. And she says, she kind of like leans her head against it, just like puts her forehead against its forehead since it's got its head bowed, and just says, could you just go back for me?
Give me
Would
a
that-
wisdom saving throw.
Uh, 5.
As your forehead touches its forehead, that's a lot of sigh for like 3 words I managed to get out. I haven't even said what happens yet.
I know you, Strike.
You feel, Taya, as though there's a pull toward the statue. Your eyes blink closed for a moment. And when you open them, you can see from the statue's eyes. And you can see your body head against the forehead of the statue. And you watch as what appears to be your body moves to a space about 5 feet in front of where the statue had originally been, and then takes up the position with its hands over its ears and head bowed. And you don't even feel the movement, but the statue, in the space of a blink, settles into the correct position. And now you can see your back. The rest of the group will see Taya move into that position. And then once the statue is back into place, they'll see Taya's head raise up, rictus grin on her face, muscles straining to hold it. And you can hear the mechanism in the wall re-engage. The 5 statues lower into the floor, and the wall behind lifts and reveals a staircase, both up and down. When the wall stops moving, there's a loud thunk. And Taya, you shake your head and are back in your body, but you can still feel the strain of your muscles in your face from the grin that you had.
Taya, what are you doing
you
to your
okay, Taya?
face? What are you doing to your face? It looks fine. Let us go.
And she stays like that until her muscles stop hurting.
It only takes a moment. They were strained, but it wasn't like a pulled muscle or anything of that nature.
Still, she's not sure that she's really back in her own body until she can't feel it anymore. And she says to Dr. Cornelius, I hope you're happy with yourself. And she turns around and looks at the staircase in the wall.
No. What gave you the impression I am happy at all? What a stupid question.
I am sure that we want to continue up this staircase. However, I do believe we were planning to rest for a period of time. And from what I recall of our interactions in this building, the likelihood of bad things up there is quite high. Perhaps we rest here?
We will.
That would be appreciated, yes.
Yeah, fine.
Are you okay, Taya?
I'm real freaked out. That was terrifying. Were you freaked out? I was freaked out.
I did not notice anything different. What happened?
I was in the statue, and the statue was in me.
Oh,
0 out of 10 do not recommend.
Are you the statue right now?
No. But when I came back in my body, my face was doing the creepy statue face. That wasn't weird? Didn't
How,
freak you out?
I was concerned. I wouldn't say I was freaked out, as you said.
Dr. Cornelius is going to lean
Yeah.
into Concord and he's going to whisper, is it just me, or is that exactly what a statue in Taya's body would say?
And I think that is where we will end for the evening.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. The what the fucks in chat are being echoed in our private chat, so you are not alone. Our next episode is next Tuesday, right here on Talon and Claw at 8:30 Pacific time. You can join
8:30 Eastern time.
8:30 Eastern time. Daylight
Those
time,
are
whatever
very
you want to
different.
call it. Yeah, 8:30 Eastern time. Did I say Pacific?
You
You did.
did.
You did.
See, 8:30 Eastern time. Dwight is going to be streaming all weekend, raising money for Ukraine. So you can check him out at twitch.tv/bigbeardednerd. Does anybody else have anything they want to add before we leave?
Big Bearded Nerd 21.
Big Bearded
Yeah.
Nerd 21 in the chat. Yeah.
You should absolutely stop by and take a look at the stream. I will be in there most of the weekend and chatting along. So come and join us. I'm sure it'll be a great time.
Yeah.
Who are we going to raid?
That is an excellent
Ooh,
question.
let's see who we got here.
thank you to everybody who is joining us,
Oh.
except for those my friends in chat who betrayed me constantly and attacked me. And no thanks to you. You're not
Good.
thanked.
We can raid
Thanks
to
from
over
me.
to Dice on Ice.
Sure.
They are playing Curse of Strahd tonight. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah.
Oh,
Raid Dice on Ice RPG.
Yes.
With that being said, from all of us to all of you, thank you so much. We'll see you in the mists.
stay spooky.